humid, ridiculously hot weather has finally kicked in hard. It's here now. Man, it got hot fast today. AJ, I got to get up earlier in the daytime and do my stuff outside while it's cool because I just kind of quit about 10:30. I was like, okay, that's enough. This humidity is no joke. And look, part of having an efficient system is not only keeping the cool air in, but keeping that humidity out too, and having your house all buttoned up very tightly. And that's what they do at EcoView. They have the best window and door products anywhere, and the bigger part of that, they've got the best installers. You can go out and buy a name brand product, but if it's not put in right, the manufacturer does not have to honor the warranty, and that's a mess. It's a total mess. EcoView Windows. Becky bought that place and fired everybody and started over and redid the lineup and rehired the best installers years ago in the business, and everybody wants to work for them because they're good. They treat their folks well. And then when their folks get to your house, they do quick, very neat, clean work. They're done faster than you would think. They can replace every window in that home. Now you can open them, close them, clean them, and they're going to keep that crazy air out of your house. You're going to sleep better. And here's the more fun part. You're going to save up to, or at least in some cases, 35% on your heating and cooling bills. Let them explain how that works. They got a guarantee that's associated with that. You can take that next 12 months after they're done and watch that average drop. That's amazing. It's a payback. And hey, there could be tax benefits too. EcoViewWindows.com, EcoViewWindows.com. Well, the story of the moment, while we're still waiting on any kind of Trump reaction to the situation in Iran, the Iranians used a drone and shot down one of our helicopters. The pilots got out. The crew members got out. There were two of them. They bailed into the Gulf of Oman, and a drone boat picked them up. That's one of the more fascinating elements of the story. We've got these drone boats now that can go 1,000 miles without refueling, and it can carry 1,000 pounds. And that robot just went out there and picked them up, and they got on the robot and came back home. They're good. They've been hospitalized in stable condition, and now we wait to see what's the American response. Is it going to be a proportional retaliation, a disproportional retaliation, or we're going to go back to bombing them? I don't think we're going to go back to bombing them. Trump's under some notion that a legitimate deal can be worked out. There's nothing about the Iranians that makes me believe that. And in fairness, I didn't believe it when Obama had a deal either. Obama tried buddying up with them and sending them cash and letting them do what they want. Trump's tried the other approach. Neither one, I think, can get a legit deal that these dishonorable mullahs are going to agree to. They're just not honorable people, and that's that. Okay. The other story, of course, is a jury verdict in the murder of Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony has been convicted on the most serious charge. They had thrown in a possibility for manslaughter into the case late. That was after the defense had pretty much lost in the court on the self-defense argument. That went right out the window because of their own witnesses. So they pled out with the prosecution to try to let the judge include a lesser charge. Jury was having none of it. They convicted him on the full count. And so now I think the sentencing phase is going on because I just saw a headline that said Carmelo Anthony's mom is now on the stand. Sometimes you'll move right into sentencing.
Yeah, so I've been listening kind of offhand.
What are they saying in there?
So basically, Carmelo Anthony's mom had hit the stand to speak on behalf of Carmelo Anthony. Also being reported that when Carmelo Anthony heard the verdict, he broke down in tears, crying in the courthouse. They're in the sentencing phase right now. So hopefully we may hear something about as far as what the verdict. What I've been also hearing too is with the Texas law. So if he gets served, let's say 20 years, he has to serve 10 of that, like half of that.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have good time behavior in state cases. In the feds, they have mandatory minimums, which means if you get sentenced to 15, you do the 15.
Yeah.
In some cases. In this case, there's some discretion.
Right. So it's just it's interesting right now. So as Carmelo Anthony's mom speaking on her son's behalf.
Well, Austin Metcalf got the death penalty. So there's that. Here's Richard DeCopp's up next. What's up, Richard DeCopp?
1993, Leland, I got subpoenaed to jury duty in my home county. Now, I'd been policing that home county about 4 years. So I went to the jury pool in my full uniform, gun belt, everything. And I can't believe they questioned me. Well, Officer such and such, how do you feel that somebody convicted of this should be sentenced? I said, death. Every answer was death. I have yet to ever be subpoenaed back to a jury since then.
Yeah, look, they don't want cops. They don't want prosecutors. They don't want opinionated talk hosts. There's some people they do not want on that jury. And it may be why I've never even been called. Now, it's supposed to be a random thing where your number comes up. I think they get it from the driver's license bureau or the voter rolls. I forget which one it is.
I think it's registration.
Yeah, and then they just pull a pool, and then you all have to go down there and sit around with your little tag on and get assigned a case, and then they question everybody. But I've never gotten called. Have you ever gotten called, AJ? I've never had to go down there.
No, I have
Hey,
not.
Leland,
Yeah, man.
one more thing. You were talking about Sophia's a while ago.
Yep.
I've eaten many meals at Sophia's going to court in Jefferson County.
It was good.
and-
I remember their butter beans being good for some reason. They put butter in the
Back
butter
at-
beans, and I loved it.
Back as recent as Christmas, there was a little restaurant still there. But shortly after Christmas, it closed down. That little building's empty now.
Man, there's so many good restaurants and places around Birmingham that have memories that are just gone, man. Just gone.
Y'all have a good one. I'm getting my way north toward Blunt County.
All right, there's Richard Cop checking in with. I can't imagine a full-fledged cop, an active duty cop would ever get on a jury anyway. And the idea, it's not to knock the system. The idea is to get fair people, and sometimes you got to find people. AJ was asking a point about all this news consumption. You got to find people that have not dug into it, and I bet it's even harder. Now, I've not covered an actual case in decades. But it must be even harder for attorneys to find people in this social media environment where things are so intrusive. You can be trying to not pay attention to something in the news, and it gets in your face anyway if you're active on these devices. And so you could not even know what happened in the Carmelo Anthony case, and you won't be able to avoid it if you have news in your so-called feed on whatever social media platform, and then you're going to get a skewed opinion because it's self-reinforcing with algorithms. So if you're on one side, you're going to get reinforced all night tonight about the unfairness of this verdict. And if you're on the other side, justice is done. And that's all you're going to see. And you'll think the whole world's like that. Now, think about that. In advance of a case, when there's all this intentional disinformation, and by the way, what adds to that is the irresponsibility of the media nowadays and the way things are reported in the first place. A lot of stuff's left out. A lot of, it's just, how do you get fair juries anymore in this modern world that we live in with constant contact? I can imagine in the days when you had one newspaper that got thrown on the lawn by some kid and the dog peed on it and it was in the bushes. You had to go out there and find it, and that was your news for the day, and you read it with your coffee, but then you had to get to work, and you couldn't sit around staring at a newspaper all day. So you got a few minutes with news, and that was it till tomorrow. You might go home and watch Walter Cronkite or Dan Rather, one of those guys, in the evening for 30 minutes, and then maybe the local newscast. They give you a solid 7 or 8 minutes of real news. The rest is water skiing, squirrels, and sports and weather and traffic. And Bob, you're so funny. And that was the news back then. That was all you got. You didn't have 24/7 information or disinformation in your face all the time. Now, when it comes to, I think this jury, when they got into the after the closings, there was a sequestration. There was supposed to be a sequestration, but they didn't need that much time. So they only deliberated for a couple of hours. So now we're just kind of keeping an eye on the case. I really don't. I'm exhausted to talk about it at 6 o'clock, so I don't have anything else to say about it. Again, I will try to articulate this as best I can. To me, a controversy is when I look at it and go, wow, I could argue both sides of that. That's real controversial because you could see how there's conflict. There's good points on each side. It divides communities because there's serious, legitimate beliefs on either side. To me, things like this don't fall into that category. This is not controversial. We know what happened. The case was clear. The jury saw that. The world saw that. A handful of knuckleheads outside the courthouse don't see that, but they can't see much anyway. They see the world through a racial prism, and that's all they're ever going to know. So, that's not legit. So this isn't a controversy. Is it a scene? Yeah. Is it just an emotional spectacle? Of course. But that's kind of what we do nowadays. That's what substitutes for news and journalism. And networks like Fox and CNN will dwell on it till tomorrow until they can find something else to talk about. But there it is. We'll give you updates if there is a sentencing. What is the range, AJ? I think it's like 20 to 99.
5 years to 99 years
5
for
to
the
99.
murder, and then for the manslaughter is 2 to 20 years.
Well, he didn't get manslaughter.
No,
so
but
now
that
it's-
was something that they had also mentioned. I
Did
saw
they
in the news
convict
report.
on both?
I just saw that. I saw that on Fox News. They
Yeah,
had
yeah,
popped
yeah.
it up, so I'm just
Well,
reporting what
those
they
were
showed.
those were the ranges, but they convicted on murders. So
Right,
that's a
but it's
higher
5
range.
to 99 years for the murder.
So whatever the judge does down the road, let's say they give him half that. The parole board in Texas could give him half of that, and then one day when he's 45 years old, some blue-haired transgender judge that the Democrats nominate will just let him go. Well, that's how we do it nowadays. All right, Allen and Company bringing you the show tonight. That's the Thompson family over in Vestavia on the Big Hill. I call it the Big Hill because if you go through that Vestavia, they got this big sort of retail area, and that's all the retail in Vestavia for the most part. And it's a lot of good shops over there. If you look for if you riding down 31 heading south on that Big Hill, and you look to the left, you'll see Allen and Company. If you look to the right, if you're going up the Big Hill, you'll see Allen and Company. And that's how you find them. They're near, if I'm giving Vestavia directions, they're near the car wash on that side of Vestavia. When you walk in there, you're going to run into the Thompson family. They're almost always in there. The whole family works in there. And it's so nice to be dealing with the actual people that are tied to the business, not just some disgruntled employee who's looking for another job and read a training manual at these chain sort of mall jewelry places, or I don't know. You go in and work with them, they really do. They want to make a sale. They're in business. They just want you to be happy first. So you go tell everybody about them. And then you come back and you buy more. That's just good business. It's old fashioned, but it works. So they take their time with you and let you think about what you're doing and talk it over and go home and change your mind and come back if you're browsing for an engagement setting or something bigger. If it's gift giving, they've got great advice. Fellas, we're all kind of dumb on this stuff, most of us. And they'll help steer you a little bit. If you want her to go ahead of you and do some shopping, they'll just keep notes and talk to you about it when you come back for that element of surprise. You know what I mean? They're just kind of a secret code. It's all those things. It's Allen and Company in Vestavia, Highway 31, Allen and Company. It's 321 Storm Restoration Roofing bringing you the show tonight too. Man, I don't know when Greg's going to get to work. He's got a few days here. I think the next big chance of rain comes back on Sunday. But boy, if you're doing construction nowadays and helping people out, the irony is it's the rainy weather that exposes if you got a leaky roof, if you got something going wrong, if you've had some wind or hail damage you didn't know when it happened, but suddenly it's manifested. You can find it during these times. Greg will still get over there and get you tarped up, get you patched up. But if it's a full project you need, call him, get in the schedule. He'll get to you. They're working as hard as they can around this rainy weather to get people quality, beautiful roofs on their houses. It feels good to know you're covered. We always talk about a roof over our head. That's the main thing, right? It keeps us sheltered from the storms. And you got to take care of your home. Sometimes your roof's going to age out. Sometimes it is going to be storm damage. Either way, I've got a phone number for you. I'm giving you a minute to find something to jot it down. Maybe you don't have any of these concerns right now, but down the road you will, and you're going to be looking for the guy, and the guy is Greg Nelson, and the company is Storm Restoration Roofing. Almost 30 years in the business. The man's got 10 kids, and they're all working with him in the business. I think a couple of them do some other stuff, but it's hard work. But when you got pride and you do things right and you're honorable like Greg, you're just going to take care of it. He is the roofing man. You'll like him when you meet him. Put somebody up there you trust. It's Greg Nelson and Storm Restoration Roofing. Here's that number I promised. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. Storm Restoration Roofing. 323 as we slide along this afternoon. Spider Monkey's up next. What's up, Spider Monkey?
Honk.
Hey, man.
I'm not in my truck.
I know it.
But hey, my first job out of the Army was roofing. That is like one of the hardest jobs in
It's
the world.
brutal. It's brutal, man.
Yeah, I mean you're always exposed to whatever's going on in the sky, the environment. And man, there was a time where it got so hot on the roof that we'd get there at daybreak and we'd roof until we started making footprints on the shingles, and then we'd get off and we'd go to a hotel or apartment complex and go jump in the water, and then take a nap and then get back out there about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Man, I tell you what, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, and then it's gravity involved, and that's the part that would ladders and gravity and all that heat. No, thank you. I'm good setting my fat ass up in here being a talk show host.
Hey, I can tell you some stuff about like some cuts and bleeding and scorpions. And,
Guarantee it.
Yeah, scorpions on the roof. Okay. Hey, what I really called about was somebody said something about old places to eat, and that just really inspired me. I'm like to think, okay, Birmingham, places to eat that aren't more, that I think people our age would miss. And number one would be Steak and Ale. You remember those places?
Yeah, I used to like that in the early 90s. I was a big Steak and Ale fan back in those days. It's a pretty good lunch, even though it was a chain.
You got to eat like privately. Everything was like booth. You almost had your private table. And then they had a great salad bar. The other one that comes to mind is the Cabana Cafe.
I never went there.
Come on.
Don't know that.
Oh, man.
Where was that?
Over there in like Brookwood.
Oh, yeah.
Around Brookwood Mall.
Now, they used to have a place over there. At one point, it was called McCormick and Schmick's, and it had a couple of other names. But they had the private booths. It was sort of a round, dome-shaped restaurant out at the end of the parking lot. I don't know if they tore that down or not. They're tearing the whole mall down now. But it had booths with curtains. Like, they'd wait on you, and they'd close the curtain, and you were in there all by yourself, and they'd just pop in there and take care of the table and close the curtain back. It was a pretty neat experience.
Wow, like that. Well, the reason I went to Cabana Cafe was just because of their radio jingle.
Oh, yeah?
All the older people remember it. The Cabana Cafe. It was like the reggae thing.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Cabana Cafe, and their food tasted like the Caribbean.
Oh, okay. Great. One of those things. I got it.
Like taking a trip. Like taking a trip. Bye, y'all.
There you go. There are plenty of places we could do this all day. Sometimes on a Friday when things are slower, I love doing these kind of nostalgia shows. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest fan of Lloyd's. because I mean I grew up with country cooking, and there's a lot of that in my hometown, and it was just so heavy. I just couldn't eat like that anymore. But I was nostalgic about it because it had been there. It used to be the only thing out on 280. Now we got a freaking car wash. AJ, a car wash. If they put another car wash or chicken finger place on 280, I'm moving.
There's like 5 of them, right?
Dude, we don't need any more chicken fingers. I used to work in this business where you study trade areas and where your competition is, and it's all analytical, but they figured out somehow that people are going to stop for some chicken fingers and coffee shops. By the way, they moved in, a big corporate chain moved in on my boy Bullet Coffee. I've known that the Visser family for years and years. It used to be a long story, but related to my family years ago. And just great people. And they opened up this little tiny drive-through coffee shop, and I used to hit it all the time when I'd come in earlier. And then they moved in one of those Brew 7 things right on top of him. I mean, like right there where the Walmart is, and just cannibalism. I mean, I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
leave the little guys alone out here.
Yeah.
But they just did it. And I went through the new one, the Louisiana one, whatever it's called.
Oh, Raising Cane.
It's all right, but man, I'm a Guthrie's man. It was not any better than Guthrie's. I'll go to my way to eat some Guthrie's. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to bash. I'm exhausted.
But I mean, but it's like you have like those corporate style chains versus the ones that are homegrown that came from Alabama, grew up Alabama, and then eventually spread out of Alabama. Because I mean, I used to hit the Guthrie's, the one that's right not too far from the radio station. Pretty good chicken tenders.
Is it? We still got one down the hill from here, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good times.
Yeah.
And of course, we're still a little bit protective of our barbecue brands that we love and our Greek restaurants. Birmingham's so blessed to have the good Greek restaurants that we have. And I'm a big tzatziki's man. We've talked about that in the past too. But man, you do see that. Hate to see these institutional places just gone. And it's not been right since COVID. I mean, since the COVID shutdown and we locked down the restaurants and we started eating outside, putting up stupid plastic because we were all just stupid to do that stuff back then. It made no sense.
Right.
It made no scientific sense. It made no business sense. We went along with it. Some restaurants never came back from that. And, of course, then we had the foresight to put a vegetable in as president who spent too much money and wrecked the economy, and we're still crawling out of it. Blakely's Bouquets, if you got somebody in your life that needs a little pick-me-up, y'all consider Blakely's. Sending flowers is easy. I mean, you're always thinking of thoughtful things. It's easy to get on their site. It's 2 names, Blake and Lee, Blakelee. You put this at Blakely'sBouquets.com. Boom. You get on there. All these beautiful arrangements pop up in different styles. Pick one you think works. Pick one that fits your budget. And then send it. Have your message ready. Pay them right there. You can be done in minutes. They're so quick about their in-town delivery. Now, I'm not saying they're going to deliver to Huntsville, but they'll deliver in a big part of our listening area. And generally, every time I've ordered, they'll get it there by midday if you do it in the morning or the night before. Send you a little text, let you know it made it. And then whoever you're trying to love on, whether it's just, I love you, boo, or, man, I'm thinking about you, we're praying for you. That kind of stuff, it does wonders for people's souls. Y'all love on people with flowers from the good folks over at Blakely's Bouquets. One more time, BLAKELEES, BlakeLeesBouquets.com. Here's the bottom of the hour. Back in a minute. It's 3:34, Leland Live, Talk 99.5, Douglas Cooling and Heating. Next up on the show, boy, it is life or death when it starts to get this hot. We're not even in the mid 90s yet. It got to, I think, officially about 91 today, but the humidity's back, and you got to take those water breaks and hydrate yourself and watch it, especially the next few days when the sun's back on us till at least till Sunday. If you're starting to notice your system's just not doing what it ought to do, or you're not comfortable at night, get on that before it gets worse, because it's going to blow on you at the wrong possible time. That has happened to me, and y'all have heard that story. That's how I got to know Douglas. Douglas is ready to come help. They do have an emergency number. One of the better things to do is just to build that relationship. Get on their list of customers by having them just come do routine service. They'll look in advance for things that are worn out or about to go wrong. Sometimes one part in a heating and air system can go bad and just burn out other things, and it can just require a whole system replacement, and that's why you do the maintenance to stay ahead of that stuff. Over time, they're going to wear out, and if you need a replacement, Douglas is just the best at handling that. They're going to add some capacity to my system this year, and as we're going to add some additional space, and I know when they get done with it, it's going to be right and tight, because I trust Douglas, and I have on every property I've owned for almost 17 years now. It's calldouglas.com, C-A-L-L, calldouglas.com. License number 2017181, calldouglas.com. All right, we do have some elections today, and we didn't talk much about it just because we got these developing and breaking stories this afternoon. In Maine, the Democrats are about to literally not nominate a Nazi sympathizer to their nomination. I don't know. I got to thinking today, there's a theory that he's the front runner. They're just going to deal with it, ignore the problems, and then try to find a way to kick him off and replace him later. They've got till, I think, July the 11th to throw this Graham Plattner guy off their ticket. Susan Collins is vulnerable in that state. Republicans nationwide don't like her because she's milquetoast. And Maine, they need to pick up any seat they can to try to make way in the Senate. This was an opportunity for the Democrats, and now they have put a straight evil nut job person on their ticket. They do not care. They have conditioned themselves to look the other way on anything. There are no principles involved in this. Now, the Washington Post and some others have started editorializing against it. They're in a no-win situation. This is similar to Biden being senile, but Biden wasn't a Nazi that we know of, but he was senile. They had to run around and tell the country he wasn't senile. This guy's a bigot. They got to run around and tell everybody he's not a bigot and a womanizer, but whatever. So that race will be fun to watch if they do it tonight, and by all indications, they're going to nominate this freak show. He is going to be nominated by a major political party for the United States Senate tonight. And we'll probably know soon because unlike California, they're actually going to vote and count the votes, we think, in Maine. Now, in some of the other races,
there's only 2 people in Maine, so.
Yeah, there's only 2 people in there. One of them's high. The other one's out getting some syrup out of a tree. They can count pretty quick. It really is a sparsely populated. They got population along the coast.
Yeah, it's like Providence and then woods.
Trees, man. I had a buddy that had a mom that lived up there.
Mm-hmm.
His parents divorced when he was young, and his mother wound up moving up to Maine. And I asked him, I was like, what do they do up there? And I remember him saying, they just smoke dope and drive around in canoes, and there ain't much to do. Logging's a big deal. But she sent us, have I ever told you the story? She sent us a bunch of lobsters. They have lobster traps up there like people here have gardens in the backyard, that grow tomatoes.
And they're serious about them lobster traps.
Yeah, and they got their own little personal lobster traps, and it was a banner year, and she had all these extra lobsters, and so she found a way to ship them to Alabama. She just called him one day and said, I'm shipping you a bunch of lobsters for your team. We were on a campaign, and so there was like 30 of us. She just wanted to treat us to lobsters. So he comes walking in my office and goes, where can I cook 30 lobsters? I said, 30 what? And so we found there's a house over in Helena that does weddings. I think they were featured in that Barat movie when he punked somebody over. He went to some dinner and in character. And I think it was that same place.
Oh, I didn't realize it was in Helena.
Yeah, it was in Helena. It's a beautiful venue. Well, the chef there, somehow he tracked down the chef and said, if I brought you 30 lobsters, would you just cook them for us and let us eat there? He goes, absolutely. So they were closed that night. They let us just come hang out at their house. and every one of us got our own lobster, straight from Maine. That was a fun night.
Yeah,
It's good times. But yeah, they take it for granted up there.
they really do. But outside of that, there's nothing. So
I want
I'll
to
be
go there.
surprised to be like, oh well, we're gonna have to. It's gonna take us 2 weeks to do all the voting here in Maine.
California's still counting, even though we kind of know the outcomes. Now they just flat nakedly stole it. The other race that's going to be kind of fun for me to watch is South Carolina. This Nancy Mace is just become an ass clown, and I got friends that know her. I got people close to me that know her, but I'm just not a fan. The histrionics, the showboating, and if you think about it, some of the biggest showboats in Congress have all gotten bounced. And she right now, the last polling I saw this morning, she's running in 5th in a very crowded, very undecided governor's race, where they're all at like 19, 20%. She was at 14 the last time I looked. It's not a lot that separates them, but she's still running 5th, and it's the top 2 will go on to some runoff. So tonight is the governor's primary election in South Carolina. Lindsey Graham is getting pushed a little bit in his primary. He's getting primaried by a guy who's been close in the polling. He's kept Lindsey under 50%. I think there may be 2 people, which would force Lindsey Graham into a runoff. So I'll be fascinated to see what happens in South Carolina tonight. Here's my point about the divas. A lot of these showboating TikTok divas in Congress are gone. I mean, I'm probably going to miss somebody, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, she quit, but we see the circumstances. Nancy Mace took off to try to get bigger things. And both of them, the same thing. They believed their own hype and thought they were too big to keep doing their job in Congress. And Marjorie Taylor Greene couldn't get Trump's endorsement for running for governor. He wasn't supporting it. She couldn't win. And so she got mad and flipped on him. Nancy Mace wound up doing the same thing toward the end because she didn't get Trump's endorsement. Now she's talking about this stuff. Jasmine Crockett, gone. I can name others. All of these showboats that are so irritating bounced. Ayanna Presley, didn't she get bounced out of the squad? I think she got bounced by the Democrats. Both parties have kind of had enough of the showboats, and it's a time when people are so frustrated. You just want things done, things, agenda items, and not just TV appearances. And so maybe we'll get back to boring, old-fashioned, roll up your sleeves and, grind out legislation and be honest about things as best you can. I don't know. We're a long way from that. But then again, you got some complete yahoos getting elected to office in the country, so there's no real diagnosis of it. But anyway, it'll be fun to see what happens to Nancy Mace. What will she do for a living? They'll hire her on one of the TV shows.
Yeah, she'd be probably on like Fox or
Fox didn't really pick up these politicians that much. They will pick up former administration officials like Dana Perino. They'll scoop them up from the White House service. But I don't know. They got Trey Gowdy's pointy head on there every day.
And then
I'm
there was
so
another
tired of
guy.
him.
They got another guy that was in Congress.
He used to be in
too.
Congress.
Mhm.
And then Karl Rove hadn't been right about an election in 20 years, and they still got him on there. He was pushing for Cornyn so hard. He almost was bleeding on the air over Cornyn, and then that was just a straight embarrassment. By the way, Cornyn bounced. Cassidy bounced. A lot of the right people, Massey's gone. A lot of the right people are just gone. Is Shane still there? I heard Shane and some background noise, and then it disappeared. What's up, Shane?
Yeah. Hey, I saw a headline today to where I think it was the representative from Maine actually flipped and it's going to allow the SAVAC a possible way through. Have you seen that or heard of that?
Say that one more time. I got a little bit distracted here. There's stuff going on in the studio. Ask me that one more time.
The representative from Maine.
Yep.
That
she
senator flipped on the SAVAC. And so she voted for it. So have you heard anything, or is that opening the door for this to actually happen?
Well, I heard Valerie talking about that. I don't know where she got that. There hasn't been a straight vote on it. She voted against it when they were trying to attach it to a reconciliation bill. But there have been so many procedural attempts. Now, she had voted favorably in one procedural hurdle earlier, but then wouldn't vote on final passage or to attach it. And maybe there's been another vote that's coming up that she's flipped again for some reason. In my count, that only puts them at 49. They still got to get to 50 Republicans and then have J.D. Vance come in. And I don't know where they're going to get the 50th because you've got McConnell, who's no longer with us. This guy died 10 years ago, but he's still holding a seat. And I think it was also Tom Tillis, who's a total bedwetter that is quitting because he got his feelings hurt. He's from North Carolina, so he's under no pressure. You can't even pressure him. And then there's Murkowski, who's already gotten thrown out by the Republicans once in her own state. She ran as an independent, then caucused with them. She's sideways. And then there was Collins. Those are the four. So if you win Collins, you got to pick up one of those other three. And I don't know which one of them would change on it.
Okay, yeah, I saw that headline, and like I said, I needed the most informed guy in America
Look at it now.
to explain it to us.
I don't know what the predicate for that was, but it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe she's looking favorably, but they still need more help on the Republican side, and I don't know where they're going to get it because these people are the squishy establishment. Senate Republicans are just losers. They have no fight in them. They're establishment people that just like the gig and just want to survive, and those people don't take risks. So I don't see it happening.
So in most parliamentary procedure, if it's brought up twice and voted down twice, it can't be brought up the same way a third time. Is that correct?
Well, the parliamentarian is another factor in this because they're trying creative ways to get it shoved into something without a filibuster. And this parliamentarian has stabbed the she never should have been kept in that job, but she is. There's been a big push to get her out. She screwed us on the ICE border bill. They had to do a redo on that. And 100% she will screw over any attempt in ruling that the SAVE Act can't be attached here or there. Even if you found the 50 votes, she has been very activist in interpreting the rules against things like that.
And that's an appointed position.
It is. She was appointed, I believe, by Harry Reid and then kept by Schumer. And then frickin' Thune and McConnell just kept her, and she should be gone.
I agree. Well, thanks for the update.
All right, Shane. Good questions, though. I know that kind of gets a little deep in the weeds. I'm just straight pessimistic on this whole SAVE Act thing. It's the right thing to do. We're watching California 110% rig an election the way they want it to come out. Period. They just did it, and the country sits back and lets it happen. And again, I said it yesterday, they can do what they want in California, but it starts to affect national elections when it gets to Senate races, electoral college, and all those things. If they want to elect a communist moron to be the mayor and continue to run their city in the ground, fine. I don't have to go to L.A. and don't care to. It's becoming a third world hellhole. People are running from that city as hard as they can go. And this is going to make it worse. They got a right to kind of do that. But it's not even I don't even think it's the will of the people. People aren't that stupid out there, but there she is. Barely got 20-something% of the vote, yet she's going to wind up still getting to be mayor through the way they did the system. There it is. Myron is on a cell phone. What's up, Myron?
Doing well, my friend. How about yourself?
Doing great.
Look, I just wanted to put a heads up out there. 59 North, I believe it's maybe exit 156. It's the furthest north, the Walmart Springville exit. Starting about there, it's a parking lot going north.
Oh, Lord. Let me look that up give me the relocator again, and we'll look it back up on the traffic map. Man, I do appreciate y'all doing this every day. It's helping folks out.
I was headed south, and as I'm getting on, I was like, oh, my gosh. But, yeah, heading north from that exit, I think it's 156 maybe.
Where's what's near there again?
It's the exit in Springville where the Walmart is.
Right. Okay, I see it now. Yeah. 59. I don't know. I don't see the exit number, but yeah, there's a wreck right there at the ramp too. Yeah, it's a mess.
Okay. And so, but anyway, wanted to give a shout out, and if anybody's headed north, you may want to jump on 11.
Then 11 gets crowded in a hurry. Thanks, Myron.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially this time of day.
Safe.
Hey, good to hear from you.
Stay safe, everybody.
Thanks, man. We appreciate those. I call them Johnny on the spot. In that case, it was Myron on the spot. But it does help your neighbors out when you're trying to navigate home because we're coming up on 4 o'clock. And, as you get further out of town, the traffic loads less, but it still can. That's a good quag up there anywhere around Springville, Trustful this time of day. So look out for it. Southern Skies Dermatology, they're ready to take a look at you, all of you, mostly naked. It's true. It's one of the easiest doctor visits you'll ever do. Some people you dread going to the doctor anyway. I get it. And I used to be hard headed like that, and I didn't go for screenings. I had to be really messed up before I'd go to the doctor. And that's just young and dumb, and that's just ego. Guys, don't put things like this off. There's somebody in your life and gals that wants you to be around. Melanoma can kill you. And if you're of a certain age, it can start to manifest quickly. And there are parts of you you can't see and probably don't want to look at. But they'll put you in that little paper gown, sit you on that table, and come in there with their little lights and instruments and scan you and tell you you're all clear or that this needs to be looked at. And then you've done the right thing by yourself and your family by getting checked out. All of us need at least a baseline. Figure out where you stand. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions and find out, your history, your sunburn history, your skin tone, your family history. All those are factors. And your age, all those are factors. And this is all they do. And I emphasize that every night. They find and they remove skin cancer. Dr. Mario is an expert in the Mohs procedure. And trust me on this, this is the only way you want to have one done. The old ways of skin cancer removal was just kind of brutal and hit or miss. This is very precise. They check it a layer at a time. They stop when they got it all so they don't have to keep going, but they make sure they got it all. Because what you don't want is for them to remove something and miss some of the cancer cells. Let them explain it to you and how it works, but you're in good hands. Great locations all over town, and a new one soon, somewhere along the 280 corridor. It is southernskiesdermatology.com, southernskiesdermatology.com. Man, FloorTech Concrete Coatings ready to come. I'm going to be honest with you. I was in a retail business in the last 2 or 3 days. I ain't going to call them out, but I looked at their floor. I looked down at their floor and I went, man, that's janky. It was where they had tried one of these concrete floor coatings. And now that I've been educated after meeting Kevin and his staff and understanding what they do with their concrete coatings, I'm seeing problems everywhere. I did one of these jobs about 20-something years ago in a previous house, did it myself. Some of y'all have done this. And it'll go down. You think you're a genius. It's like, man, I got that done. Put the flake on it. Remember, I bought these little special spikes so you could walk on it a little bit and throw the flake out and put the stuff down. I burned all the fibers off the concrete, did everything that I was supposed to do. I mean, just months later, it started peeling, started yellowing. Anywhere sun hit it, it faded. It's just inferior product. It comes down to the product itself. Doesn't matter who installs it. If the product's bad, it's going to look bad down the road. The way they do it at FloorTech Concrete Coatings is they have purified the product. And it's a product they so believe in, they'll give you a lifetime warranty that can transfer with the house. If you ever sell the house or the business, I guess, that work goes with it. They're saying this is not going to yellow. It's not going to peel. It's durable stuff. It dries faster. It doesn't stink because they don't put the chemicals in it. This is what you want on your concrete floors. It's really smart to do these projects because you can stop a lot of stains and just ugly nastiness that absorbs down into the pores of those concrete and just looks bad over the years. It'll start to pull your concrete apart too if you get enough oils and those kind of things down in there. Put this stuff on there and it'll look good all the time. Just mop it. It's FloorTech Concrete Coatings. Put a K in there when you spell tech. FloorTech, T-E-K, FloorTech Concrete Coatings or FloorTechCoatings.com. One word. FloorTechCoatings.com. Well, the World Cup, I had to educate myself today. The World Cup friendly event down in Auburn tonight, it's about to take place in a couple of hours, and it's turning into a pretty big deal. AJ, I don't know anything about soccer. We've established this.
Yes.
But I've heard the name Messi. Forever you hear about Messi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about Messi, so I started digging into it.
World-renowned soccer player from overseas.
But he's playing for the Argentinian team.
Yeah, but he now plays for here in the States, I believe in Miami. Or Ronaldo also does too, I think.
See, you know more than I do, but I saw a hit on that today, and he was running around on Jordan-Hare Stadium on the grass. I went, it was like, Messi sets foot. I was like, what? Wait a minute, Messi? They got a superstar down there. No wonder they've hyped this friendly match. It's Argentina and Iceland. I think it starts at 7:30. I don't know if it's televised, but I kind of want to watch it. Mainly, a couple of Jessica's kids are going to be able to go with family, and my grandkids are going. I'm a little bit jealous.
But I don't think Messi's going to play, though.
He's not going to play in the friendly?
No. This is like a scrimmage because if he gets hurt.
He was out there running around practicing.
I mean, yeah, practicing, yeah. But, I mean, to play and you're about to get ready to get in the World Cup, and that's one of your top players for Argentina, you is not going to risk that.
What a bunch of poons, man. Get out there and warm up, son.
I mean, he can warm up, but I don't think he's going to play in the game.
Oh, he won't?
Nah.
I bet he plays.
It's just like when you play during
I bet he plays out of straight ego.
Nah. He's worth too much money to
well,
to play.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the strategy of soccer that you do. Is it acceptable to hold your stars out?
I mean, NBA does it. Football players do it.
Well, all those butts in those seats down there, they're going to put a lot of people in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll put 85,000 in there, but they'll
You'd
put
be surprised.
Tens of thousands. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that are down there.
Yeah.
And maybe we should have taken the show down there. I got too much going on this week. There's no way. That would have been fun. But anyway, big thing tonight. The state of Alabama and, of course, Auburn University on the international stage with the Argentina-Iceland throwdown, whatever they call it. Back in a minute.